Hi, Kathy. Hello. How are you? Hi. 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 We'll start in a couple of minutes. Plenty of time. We're all nice and early. But we'll use all the props. So definitely 2 blocks, blanket, strap. And I'll try to get some time into rolls. So if you'd like to grab therapy balls now, you can, or I can bring them to you later on. Up to you. But grab all your things. Is it cooling off? Okay. I'll make it cooler, but just making sure original temperature is okay. Is she toasty out there? Yes. Yay. It's supposed to be hot all this week, right? Is that true?
Yeah, 90. It's going to be 100 by the weekend.
Ah!
Time for the air conditioning.
Time for the air conditioning. Oh yeah, look at that. Excessive heat watch. Yeesh. Okay, good to know. I have stopped checking the weather completely until my first dog walk is my weather check in the morning where I'm like, am I wearing enough clothes or do I need to not be too, do you know what I mean? Like, are pants too much? Is it shorts? But it's just moo-moo all week. So it's going to be. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. I was just thinking we have like a proper spring too, so in the morning it's cooler.
Yeah,
And you get like that hot day and then the cool night again.
yeah,
I'm definitely not used to that.
me either.
Yeah. Like, what is this?
What is this?
Climate? Like, it's changing?
Have the city pools opened yet? Does anyone know? Not yet.
Opening this week. Yeah.
This week?
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
I think maybe today.
Oh, good to know. There's always times where I'm like, can we put a pool on the roof here? But I don't think so.
Don't look too closely at these beams.
I know.
I did that one day.
No.
Shut my eyes.
Yeah, shut the eyes or let it all just blur away. Well, I don't know if you've ever seen on Mariel's Instagram what the building used to look like before it was a studio. It was like, historically, it was an old horse stable. And then it was a big just storage unit for a very long time. And some of the pictures that she posted from 2012 of like the gutting and the construction, it's unrecognizable. Yeah.
I guess if it was a stable, that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
walkway.
Yeah. I think about that when, is it true or am I spreading this rumor? Hello, you made it. That Rittenhouse Park, like all the parks used to be storage places for people's horses. Did I make that up? Is there not one person in here that can confirm that, or should I keep spreading that rumor?
Rittenhouse was part of the original plan of Philadelphia.
But like
Philadelphia was.
the rich people wouldn't keep their horses there when they were inside their homes. Okay, I believe you. But would you be mad at me if I kept spreading the rumor that okay. Recreational? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I always like to know when I'm spreading the, it's not hurting anyone, I don't think. Hi, welcome.
Originally, there were a certain number of squares, so there was like Franklin Square,
Oh, yeah.
Rittenhouse, Washington, Whitman House, maybe Franklin.
Mm. Okay, the time has come to practice some yoga. We'll wait for it. There's most likely a few more people that will trickle in as we start, but glad you're here on a hot Monday. I'll turn the AC up very soon, but just to get started, hopefully we're all comfortable. Just in case we didn't meet or haven't said hi yet, my name is Anisha, and I'm very happy to be here with you all. It's the last week. For the past 7 weeks, which feels like yesterday when we started, but today is the last week of working our way through the chakras. So since before Labor Day, today is the final day, each week has been focused on a different chakra in our body. So, no spoilers, we're thought to have 7, hence the 7-week series. But they run their spinning discs or wheels of energy that we don't necessarily see with our eyes, but you can very clearly feel in your body. Once you start to know about them, understand them, identify how they relate to your life, they become I'm trying to say begin and become at the same time, so let's just they begin to awaken different parts of your being. I know, just a stop-start. So today, we've made it up to number 7. It's the one at the very crown of the head. And the Sanskrit name for this chakra, it's called Sahasrara chakra. And Sahasrara, the word in Sanskrit, stands for thousand-fold. So if you were ever to look at the symbols for the chakras, they're always represented by a lotus flower. And the first chakra that we started weeks ago at the very base of our spine, it's your root chakra, it only had 4 petals coming off of it. And the higher up you go, the more fractals more petals each of the lotuses begin to have, until we come to the very crown, where it's the thousand-fold lotus that emerges at the crown of the head. And so this is the place. The color is white or rainbow or gold, the colors that encompass all. Its element that it's associated with is that of thought. And this is the chakra from where we not only begin to experience the divine, whatever that means to you, something greater than yourself, something greater than what you see, but in the similar way, it's also how the divine begins to access us. So it's almost a two-way portal of how we begin to see the world greater than just the one that we see. So I have lots and lots of things to say about it. We'll get practicing. We're going to move towards Sirsasana, headstand, and we'll use it at the wall. We'll use all of our props for support. But all of that being said, take breaks, sip as much water as you need, observe, lay down, give yourself time to support yourself, for the ultimate common denominator of the practice is it's here to sustain you. So you give yourself the gift of listening to what it is that you need. But I'm glad we're here together. We'll start together in a comfortable seat. However that looks, you're more than welcome to begin lying down. If you'd like to sit up on a block or a blanket, please feel free to do so. But as you arrive in your seat, let your eyes either close or soften to a point. And as you close your eyes, begin to listen for the sound of your breath. Chakras, these energetic wheels, these discs, these portals of energy that you don't see with your eyes, but you can slowly begin to feel. The first way we begin to access them is through that breath. So as you let each soft, slow, and quiet breath give you a moment to dissolve the day that was, let each breath allow for you to arrive to where you are now. And each breath that comes after makes space for what has yet to come. As you continue to listen for your breath, can you let it naturally begin to deepen? Letting each inhale move from the nose down into your belly and up into your chest. And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out through the top of your head, creating more space than before. Continue with a few more rounds of that same breath. Letting each inhale move in, down, and wide, anchoring you to the earth. And each exhale pours itself up and out through each direction, like the 1,000-petaled lotus. Let's begin our time together with 3 more rounds of that same breath. You can draw your hands to center anywhere that feels for you, on your body or in front of your heart, in a moment of self-reverence. If your hands are in Anjali Mudra, you might pull your thumbs back to touch your heart as you lift your heart up into your hands. Take a deep breath in to offer it all out. 2 more times on your own. The bottom of your breath, pause for a moment. Take notice of any difference that comes when you listen for and really remember your breath. And now, keeping that connection as best as you can, let your hands release. Blink your eyes open. Come forward to tabletop. Let's start to link breath and movement together through a few rounds of cat and cow. Hi, come on in. So as you find your way to all fours, walk your hands to come as wide as your mat if they're not already. Spread your fingers nice and wide, tuck or untuck your toes behind you, and start to round and arch your spine at your pace through rounds of cat and cow. Let's go for 7 breaths for chakra number 7. Feel free to stay rounded or arched for a few breaths. Maybe you start to move forward and back through rounds of child's pose, maybe even bringing your shoulders forward of your wrists. But with those eyes soft and that gaze turned inward, can you start to move from a place of what it is that you desire, what your body craves this morning, rather than what others are doing or what you think you should be doing? Take 1 more round wherever you are. Slow down your next breath in. And exhale to pour that breath out. And then come back through center, find your way to table. Watch for your props and people behind you. Stretch the right leg back, tuck the toes under, come in for that calf stretch. We'll get into the backs of the legs this morning. So take notice of what you feel in the calf, the back of the knee, and through the back of the thigh. As you take another breath here, can you slide the top of your head forward towards the front of the room? Get longer in all 4 sides of your neck. And then switch sides after a few breaths. Bend the right knee, stretch back through the left, and check out what you feel on side 2. Take a slow, steady breath in, and a long, clear breath out through every direction of you. Now find your way back to table. Come to your hands and your knees. Walk your hands forward of your shoulders. Walk your knees back behind your hips. And with those toes tucked under, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Take as much time or as many breaths as you need to find your way there. We're moving towards headstand today, Sirsasana, and variations of it. And it's a pose where you're upside down, where the crown of your head is below your heart, just like you are now. So with your head below your heart here in your first upside down pose of the day, what's the quality of your breath? Can you slow down your next breath in and exhale to offer all of that breath out? And when you find your next exhalation, lift your heels high, soften your knees, peek forward, and 1 foot at a time, walk your feet towards your hands to come into your forward fold. Your hands can be on blocks out in front of your feet to bring the floor higher up to you. Let the weight be more in the balls of your feet and the heels to feel even through front and back. And let your head be heavy. You might even slowly nod your head yes, or gently nod your head no, and just feel the weight of gravity as you bow in towards yourself. Now hands come up to your hips, stand through your legs, and inhale to come all the way to rise as you release your hands. With those feet under your hips, take a breath in to sweep the arms forward and up. As you exhale, soften your knees and fold over your legs. Slow breath in to come up halfway, reach the crown of your head to the front of the room. And on your exhale, step it back to plank pose, the top of your push-up. Knees down or up, but push into the floor, reach the heart forward, take a big breath in. And on your exhale, bend your elbows to lower all the way down. Inhale to rise for cobra or baby cobra. Hug the shoulder blades together to lift through the heart. And on your exhale, we'll meet in down dog or table or puppy pose for 3 deep breaths. The 1,000-fold lotus. That's what this chakra symbolizes, the very crown of your head. This is the place we begin to access the divine and how the divine pours itself into us. And so with those eyes soft or wide open, let the breath pour itself into you. And as you exhale, pour your breath out through each direction of you. At the bottom of your breath, let the heels lift, soften your knees, and come forward to the top of your mat, to your standing forward fold. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen, grow long, and exhale to fold, bowing in towards yourself. Take a long breath in to rise, stand through your legs, reach up to touch the sky, and exhale to release. Let the hands come by your sides. With your feet under your hips, a side stretch, reach the arms forward and up, grab your right wrist, grow 1 inch taller, and we tip to the left for standing crescent. As you take a breath here into that right side of your waist, see if that left shoulder can reach more to the front of the room as you press the ears and the throat back to lift your chin. Big breath in to come up through center. Take a breath as you switch the wrists, grow tall through the left arm, and then tip over to the right. Sides are different, torsos are different. Notice if there's any difference on the second side. And as you tip to the right, the throat back, the ears back to lift your chin. Big breath in to come up through center, touch the sky, and as you exhale, fold and bow in. Bring your feet a fist width or 2 fists width distance apart, and as you bend your knees, sit your hips back, climb your palms up to your thighs for this first round of chair. Without moving your feet anywhere, can you sweep your heels away from each other, feel the outer hips light up, and now guide your knees open towards those second toes as you lift the chest. Stay here. If you want to add some heat, you can reach the arms to the sky. But take a big breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale. Let your hips get heavier as you lift your heart up to the sky. And now inhale to rise. Reach up, touch the sky. As you exhale, fold and bow in. Keep your right foot forward. Step your left foot back to catch your lunge. Come up onto your blocks or fingertips on either side of that right foot. Now wiggle your left foot back another inch or 2. We'll come into pyramid pose. Push the right leg straight to lengthen through the back of the thigh. Keep the back heel lifting for this round. Lift up through that left heel. Tack your left hip forward towards the front of the room so the right hip has space to move back. And now keep your legs straight and steady. Push into the blocks as you lift your chest. Take a big breath in. Stay here, or as you exhale, soften your elbows and bow in towards yourself. Take one more breath. Feel the belly, the heart fill up. Stay for your exhale. Can you imagine the crown of your head reaching towards the top of your mat? And now back it up. On your inhale, bend that right knee. Step it forward with as many hops as you need, left foot to meet the right. Inhale to come up halfway to lengthen. As you exhale, fold and bow in. With those feet a fist or 2 fists width apart. One more time, bend your knees, sit your hips back, chair, Utkatasana. Hands can stay, they can reach up to the sky. But as you sit your hips heavier to the earth, guide your knees open towards those second toes. Now feel those ribs, slide the ribs back. Then slide the throat back. If your arms are overhead, bring your arms in line with your ears as you lift your heart. Take a full breath in, down, and wide. Stay for the exhale. Let the hips get heavy as you lift your heart up to the sky. And now inhale to stand tall. Reach up, touch the sky. And as you exhale, fold and bow in. Keep your left foot forward, right foot back to catch your lunge. With your hands on blocks or fingertips, wiggle the right toes back another inch so you can straighten your left leg. Pyramid pose, Bhursvottanasana. For this round, as you lift higher through that right heel, push through the right foot to move your right hip forward, tack the left hip back. And now push down into your blocks, reach the chest forward, take a big breath in. Stay here for your exhale, or you might soften your elbows and bow in towards yourself. But take another breath in and down. Stay for that exhale. Can you imagine the very top of your head reaching towards the left big toe? Get longer. And now on your next breath, back it up. Bend your left knee. This time plant your hands on the ground. Take it back to downward facing dog. Pedal the heels from side to side, a breath or two to notice. Now with your hands as wide as your mat, take up some space. Wait for your inhale to come forward to plank pose. Think tailbone back towards your heels. You'll feel that low belly light up. And now crown of your head forward to the front of the room. Big breath in. As you exhale, bend your elbows to lower all the way down. Hands nice and wide. Inhale to rise for baby cobra or cobra. Press your feet into the floor. Hug your shoulder blades together. And now slide the throat back to lift your heart. Big breath in. Exhale to release, lower down. Tuck your toes under with your hands nice and wide. Push through the ground to rise, table or plank. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, float that right leg up and back. Step it all the way through to catch your lunge. Slow, steady breath in to come up to rise for high lunge. Reach the arms, the chest up to the sky. Walk that right foot an inch or two over to the right. And now lift the back thigh, stretch up through the fingertips, try to look away from the ground. Interlace your fingers, bring your hands to the very top of your head, the crown. Now push your head up into your palms and use your hands to gently press your head down as you bend into that front thigh. Take a big breath in, stay for your exhale, push your head up into your hands. And now release your hands to your hips. All the hops you need. We come to stand, left thigh to your chest. Cross your left ankle over. Sit your hips back into standing figure four. First of those hip openers. Your hands can be on your hips. They can be on blocks for something solid in front of you. They can also reach up to the sky like chair pose. But flex that left foot. Try to lift the heart, lift the crown of your head. And let the hips feel heavier or get heavier to the earth. Inhale to come all the way to rise. Reach the arms up. Draw the left knee to your belly. And then thread it back to lunge. Hands to the ground for wide-legged forward fold. Slow and steady. Pivot your hands and feet to the left so you face the long edge of your mat. Check to see that those toes are pointing in the same direction. And now lift and spread all 10 of your toes. Just see where the weight falls on the corners of your feet. Keep the toes lifting for a moment as you hug your feet together. Take a big breath in. And now on your exhale, soften your elbows as you bow in towards yourself. Take a full breath in through the nose and a longer breath out through the nose or mouth. That's it. Now head stays heavy. Let's rewind. Turn the right knee and toes to catch your lunge. Step it back to downward facing dog. Pedal the heels and a breath to notice. With your hands as wide as your mat, this will help us as we move towards Sirsasana. Inhale through to plank pose. Think butt towards your heels and the crown of your head forward. As you exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale to rise for cobra. Hug the shoulder blades together, the throat and ears back. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Wait for your breath. There's no rush. Inhale to float the left leg to the sky. Step it through to catch your lunge. Slow, steady breath in brings you to rise for high lunge on the second side. Feel free to walk the left foot as much as you need over to the left, but power up through that back thigh. Wrap the right hip forward as you stretch up through the arms. And now interlace your fingers. Take that awkward thumb on top Hands come to the very top of your head. Push your head up into your palms. Feel the sides of your neck grow longer. And as you bend into that left thigh, let your hands get heavy to the top of your head. Take one more breath in. Push your head up into your palms. Stay for your exhale. Let the front thigh descend. Now hands come to your hips. All the hops you need to spring off the right foot. Right ankle crosses over. Sit your hips back as you reach the heart forward. Try to flex through that right foot like it's standing on solid ground. And as you lift your heart, lift the crown of your head up. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale as your hips get heavier towards the earth. And now inhale to rewind. Draw the right knee to your chest. Thread it all the way back to catch your lunge. Hands to the ground. One more time. Pivot your hands and feet to the right for your wide-legged forward fold. That's it. As you face the other side of your mat, walk your feet an inch or two closer together than they already are. So shorten your stance. And now tiny bend in your knees. If it feels feasible, you might walk your hands back so that they're in between your feet, as if your toes could line up with your fingertips. Now hands on the blocks or down on the floor, fingertips pointing towards the brick wall. Push your palms down and forward as you bow in towards yourself. So push down into the earth and push forward towards the brick wall as you bow in towards the ground. Take a bigger breath in. Stay for one more exhale as you offer that breath out. And now head stays heavy as you back it up. Turn the left knee and toes through to lunge. Step it back to downward facing dog. Pedal the heels. And a breath or two to notice what you feel and see. Inhale through to plank pose. As you exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly. Come up onto your forearms. We'll find a thigh stretch. So with your elbows under your shoulders, left forearm down, bend your right knee and lift your right toes up for half frog. With your left hand down, your right hand can reach around for the right foot or a strap or the leg of your pants. Good. Draw the right heel towards your right tush. They don't have to be anywhere near each other, but feel the heel move towards the butt. And now shrug that right shoulder up and back. Feel that left leg. Push the left foot down. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. If you're on the left forearm, push through the left forearm to lift your chest up. Good. On your inhale, slowly release the leg. Take a breath as you switch sides. Right forearm down. Bend your left knee. And now left hand reaches around for the left foot. This one's called half frog, Ardha Bekasana, which I never understood because I've never imagined half of a frog looking this way. But full frog is this one. So half frog, you can find the thigh stretch. Draw the heel towards your tush. Hug your thighs towards each other. And as you shrug the left shoulder up and back, lift up through the heart. Take a big breath in. Stay for one more exhale to offer that breath out. And now on an inhale with care, release the leg. Plant your palms. Take it back to tabletop. Find your way to your hands and your knees. And locate your blanket. So we'll do a little teaser. We're not going all the way up yet, but just to explore some weight in the crown of the head. We'll do this pose called rabbit pose, which is also very sweet. But what it'll look like is one blanket, if you need it, will come to the middle of your mat. And let me show you really first. Your hands will come behind the blanket, not on. Hands will come on your sticky mat behind the blanket. And then as you reach your chest forward, you bend your elbows back. The crown of your head will come down onto the blanket itself. That place is right where we had our hands, not at the hairline, nor at the back of your head, the very, very top. And as you find it here, crown of your head comes down. Now you feel your hands on the ground. You hug them together, pull them back towards your heels to let the crown of your head get lighter. Stay here, or for rabbit, bring your legs together. You can either give the backs of the knees a little hold, or hold on to your heels as the crown of your head comes down. And then to come out, we lift up. We're going to do that twice. So feet and knees are going to stay on the floor the whole time. It's just exploring some weight in the crown of the head. Yeah? If there's any head or neck stuff going on that doesn't make this feel great, anything but sweet or great, you can keep hands on the floor crown of your head down, and stay right here. No need to reach back for the heels. But I want you to feel weight on those hands. So let's try it out. You can bring your blanket somewhere to the middle of your mat. Bring your hands onto the sticky mat as wide as your mat. Once the hands come down, reach the chest forward, bend your elbows to lower the crown of your head down onto the blanket. Now, without lifting the hands yet, hug your palms towards each other from right to left. Without moving your hands, try to drag your hands back towards your knees. Feel the upper back light up. You breathing in there? Try to breathe in there. And now, only if you want, you might walk your knees forward an inch or two, and either hands reach back for the backs of your thighs, or with the toes tucked under, your hands might reach back for your heels. Feel and listen for your breath. And when you don't want to do it anymore, your hands come down onto the floor. You push the ground away from you, and like a seesaw, take a big breath in to come all the way up. That's it. Yep. That was it. You did it. That was the pose. There was a lot of, as you came up, being like, that was it. So let's try one more time. For those that are moving towards reaching for the heels, and you're like here, and how could I reach the heels? Bring the knees closer, only if you want to. But the point is, hands, you got to use them. It's as if your hands wouldn't be able to come off of the floor if your hands are here. Yeah? Let's try it again. So take a breath, come to table, with or without the blanket. Reach forward through the chest, and now bend your elbows to lower the crown of your head down. Before you lift the hands up, use them. Hug them together from right to left, and now try to pull them back towards your knees. You'll feel the upper back light up. Stay here, or if you'd like, might walk your knees an inch or two closer towards your blanket. Reach your hands for the backs of your thighs or for your heels. If you're holding onto the legs, give them a pull. Pull the heels forward and let the crown of your head get heavier. Big breath in. Stay for your exhale whenever you're ready, and when you want to come out, release your hands back to the floor. Push yourself away from the ground and come up to take a seat for a breath longer. Okay, we said hello to the crown of the head. It exists, it's there, it's present. Find your way to downward facing dog. Take as much time and as many breaths as you'd like to get there. A slow, deep breath in and a long, clear exhale out through each direction. And now on your next inhale, float the right leg up and back. Step it through to catch your lunge. Pivot your back heel to the floor, and on an inhale, come up to rise for warrior two. Back heel down, right knee and toes point ahead. Lift up through the heart, lift the crown of your head to the sky, and now bend into that front thigh. As you inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Bend your right elbow, pat yourself on the upper back. Let the left fingertips hold on to the elbow. Think elbow to the ceiling, press your head back, slide the ribs back. Stay exactly as you are. We've done a side stretch already. If you'd like to slowly tip up and back towards the back of your mat, you can, but take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. Think elbow to the sky as you bend into that right thigh and guide your right knee open. And now inhale to come up through center. Unravel your arms as you push the right leg straight for triangle pose. Right fingertips to your block or to the floor. Let's all come to the inside of that front leg today. So once your right hand touches the ground or a block, squeeze your legs together. Pull the right foot back, the left foot forward. And now push down into that right hand and reach the crown of your head to the front of the room. Stay here, or you might bring your left hand this time to the back of your head. Instead of the top of your head, back of your head. As you press your head back into your palm, lean back. And now use your left hand as if you're pulling your head forward towards the front of the room to lengthen. Take a big breath in. Stay for the exhale. And now keep your legs steady. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Half moon, look down to the ground. Start to heel toe your left foot forward towards the top of your mat. And now with or without your block, right hand goes forward and off to the right of your right foot. Lean into your block, lean into your fingertips to lift the left leg up. As you lift the left inside of your thigh to the sky, stretch back through the left heel And now reach the top of your head forward to the front of the room. Stay here. If you want to reach the left arm to the sky, you can, but big breath in. Stay for your exhale. And now bend your right knee just enough to tap it back to warrior two. Big breath in to rise. Stay for your exhale as you bend into that front leg. Okay, just for fun, we're going to do it to the other side. So push the legs straight. Turn the right toes to face the long edge of your mat. Left toes to face the back of the room. Bend your left knee and take it back to warrior two, side two. Guide your left knee open towards your pinky toes. And now inhale to reach the arms up to the sky. Bend your left elbow. Let the right fingertips hold on. Think elbow to the ceiling, head back into the forearm and ribs back. Stay here, or you might start to tip back towards me, towards the back of your mat. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale, bend into that front thigh, guide your left knee open towards those pinky toes. And then inhale to come up through center, release those arms, push the left leg straight. Take a breath, let yourself reset. And on your exhale, triangle, Trikonasana, left fingertips to your block or the ground. That's it. When you squeeze your legs in towards each other, it gives you something solid underneath. And now extend the crown of your head to the front of the room, or the back of the room. If you did so on the side one, you might bring your right hand to the back of your head, press your head back into your palm, lean back into it, and then use your right fingertips to lengthen the very top of your head to the back wall. That's it. Everyone bring your right hand to your right hip. Ardha Chandrasana, look down to the ground. Slowly start to heel toe that right foot towards the back of the room. Now for my friends at the back wall, you might have to do a little wiggle. Come to the middle of your mat, but bring the left foot way far forward and off to the left as you lift the right leg up. Lift the right inside of your thigh to the sky. Reach the right heel back towards me and reach the crown of your head forward as if you could kiss your friend's foot in front of you or the wall. That's it. Take one more breath in. Stay for your exhale. And now soften your left knee just enough to tap it back to warrior two. Big breath in to rise. Stay for the exhale. Bend into that front thigh. Push the left leg straight. Turn the left toes to face the long edge of your mat. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Plant your palms on the ground and step it all the way back. Pedal the heels, a breath or two to notice. And now lower both knees to the ground. Come into tabletop. One more thing to do before we take it to the wall. So lower your forearms down onto the floor. And Leo, who taught me this trick during one of our workshops, instead of bringing your hands to your elbows, bring your hands to your biceps. So let your hands catch to the very tops of your arms. It might mean your elbows need to come way closer together, like wrap your fingers around your biceps. Now once you give them a hug, keep your elbows where they are, and now lower your forearms down to the floor as you interlace your fingers. Good. Once the fingers are interlaced, look at your thumbs. Shrug your shoulders to the ears, soften between your shoulder blades. Tuck all 10 toes under, and now lift up into dolphin pose, hips to the sky. If it feels like your head is touching the ground, lower your knees, walk your forearms closer together, and then lift on back up. But take a breath here. Push your wrists down into the earth to lift your hips higher. And as you lift your hips higher, push your forearms down into the ground. And now come onto your tippy toes, soften your knees, lift your hips higher to the sky. Stay here, or everyone keep your right foot firmly planted as you draw your left heel towards your tush, like a little flamingo. Bend your left knee and try to kick your heel towards your butt. You breathe in, lower the left foot down, switch sides, bend your right knee, kick your right heel towards your tush, flex the foot. Now lower the right foot down, lift your hips higher, take one more breath in, and on your exhale, lower your knees to the ground, take a breath in child's pose or fully on your belly, or just a moment where your head can be below your heart to slow and steady your breath down.
When we're in dolphin, should we be thinking like chest and
Other way. Chest towards your thighs. Yeah. Chest towards your thighs, and then I like to peek at my wrists. Yeah. Okay, take a breath, sit on up, sip some water. Are we feeling okay? Toasted? The AC is on 72, if that's of any help. It can go down to 60, and I'll put it there at a certain point. But I like to give a little bit of heat just so we can stay loose. So can we come to the wall, please? There's plenty of space for all of us. Find the short edge of your mat to the wall, any wall that you like. And you can bring all of your props with you. Lots of space. You can squeeze one or two more in on the back wall. Everyone finding some room? Yeah, we can squeeze you in here. Okay, so Sirsasana, headstand. The reason why I have deemed this pose for this chakra is because you are quite actually balancing where the chakra exists. There's plenty of variations and options to do this pose in, but we'll try the version, we'll do one round, we'll try the version with the forearms down on the ground. If there's any stuff, like I mentioned, going on in the neck or shoulders, where balancing and finding weight on the crown of the head doesn't feel good, you can do what we call the headless headstand variation, where you don't put any weight on the head, and instead, you come here to balance. So, first version of what it's going to look like is both feet will stay on the ground. You can bring a blanket or not, but the very top of your head will come onto the earth. Now you make that same interlace of your fingers, creating a triangle. The top of your head will come down in between, and there's lots, this is the worst angle, but you understand, there's lots to do here. Just exploring some weight on the crown of your head will give you a lot. So I invite you to take a few breaths without lifting your knees up and just noticing what it's like to find sensation in the crown of your head. If you want to go further or do anything different, the next stage will be like this, just like we did in dolphin pose. And then perhaps you walk your feet in, and then you can explore kicking one heel towards your tush, just like we did in dolphin, breathing, or both heels towards your tush. Your butt might touch the wall at this point. Your feet might touch the wall at this point. And can you kind of see how this is chair pose in the legs? Yeah, similar. And then only if you want, one leg can reach up to the wall at a time. Take a few breaths here, and then to come down, you rest in child's pose, just so that you find a few breaths with your head below your tush. The thing I want you to think about, we'll do 2 rounds of it. If any questions come up, please call me over or ask me around. Yes, it's headstand. Yes, your head is on the ground, but that doesn't mean we neglect the forearms. You want to feel, this isn't real math, but you want to feel 100% of weight in your right forearm, 100% of weight in your left forearm, and like 75% weight in the crown of your head. You got to use those arms to find length through the sides of your neck. Yeah? Is that good algebra? Touching the ground. Yes, but you don't want it to be like I could come and pick your forearm up off the floor. Because if all the weight goes in the crown of your head, it just feels like it's like someone's just pushing here when you want to find length through the top of the neck. Yeah? You want to try it once? Your feet do not have to lift up off the floor. Also, if you saw that and you're like, I'm really good, I don't want to do this, fully fair, me either. But you can do Viparita Karani, the legs up the wall, restorative inversion, where legs are above your heart, and you can enjoy a few breaths of rest here with your head down on the ground. A great alternative. But if you want to kick up into or work up towards Sirsasana, I'll talk you through it. Face the wall. Come down onto your forearms and your knees.
I remember once you taught us, I don't know if we're doing
Different. Yeah. But can use it. But try this one first and then see what happens. So your fingertips might touch the wall. That's okay. Bring the crown of your head between the cradle of your hands. And now walk your elbows an inch or 2 closer together. Take a breath here. Just see what it feels like to breathe right here. And then only if you so desire, tuck all 10 toes under and lift your knees up for this version of dolphin. Push 100% into the right forearm, 100 into the left forearm, lift your hips up, and then maybe you kick one heel towards your tush. You can lower that foot down, maybe the other heel towards your tush. Good catch. And then maybe butt touches the wall, feet touch the wall. Perhaps the legs straighten. But wherever you are, if the legs are straight or if they're bent, take 3 to 4 breaths at least in any variation and come out to rest when you're ready. Nice. That's okay, Keishan. Rest in child's pose, rest in full pranam. Stay up there for as long as you need to, but just take a few moments to breathe where you are. Nice, Kathy. Any questions, thoughts, concerns, feelings, yoga-related feelings? Okay. That looked great. Sirsasana in Ashtanga yoga, which you might have heard of, it's that classical lineage of yoga that you have a series of set poses that you do practice after practice. It ends in Sirsasana for 15 to 20 breaths, because the idea is that when you're upside down in this way, all of the attention is drawn to the crown of your head, like any inversion. As soon as you start to think about something else when you're upside down, gravity finds you. You know, that's when the floor will find you first, in a supportive and comfortable way. But the thing I want to mention before we go into the second and last round, and I'll show you a different variation if you want to take it too. So each of these chakras, this chakra number 7, Sahasrara, the 1,000-fold lotus, it's not only how the divine accesses us, but how we access the divine. It's also the place in which we experience consciousness. I do this in quotation marks because there's so many words that can fill in this blank. Enlightenment, nirvana, bliss. This is the place where we start to experience those. And the shadow side, or the demon side to this chakra, is that of attachment, because it was thought in the form of yoga that originated thousands and thousands of years ago, that in order to achieve enlightenment and bliss and consciousness, we had to become unattached from all of our worldly possessions, from our relationships, from our things, from the people that we care about, so that these yogis could go sit on a mountain and meditate for their entire life, which is a gift in and of itself. But the yoga that we practice here at the studio, that we're all the teachers have this philosophical lens through, is that in fact, attachment isn't a demon, it's not a shadow, it is a boon, it's a gift, because who are we of this world if we are not without our attachments, if we are not without our relationships? In fact, those are the things that only make us more brilliant and beautiful than we already are, and that's how we begin to access the divine. So I mention this because for years, and this is also just giving you a second to cool down if you need it, but I mention this because I remember when I first started practicing, headstand was the pose that I chased. I was so attached to getting upside down because I would see it and be like, that's what I'm going to go towards. Didn't work. Fell 100 million times, tumbled over, until one day I was like, no, this isn't it. And eventually, over time, with thinking about it a little bit less, being less grippy onto it, it became part of my practice. But I bring it up to you because crown of the head touching the ground is where we start to experience something greater than ourselves. And so moving in that direction just creates more than you possibly could have imagined, just having your head below your heart. So 5-second break before I show you one more variation. You can do that again. Stay there maybe for a breath or two longer with your feet or knees on the ground. Or with the crown of your head down, same way, toes tucked under. Maybe it's this here. If you want to explore some work in the belly, maybe it's moving towards legs simultaneously, piking them up, taking a few breaths here, and then piking them down, a few breaths here, and doing that a few times, if you want. Yeah, 3 to 5 breaths. Yeah. 100% of weight in the right forearm, 100 in the left, 75 in the right, in the head. And then you collapse. You rest on the floor. If you saw that, there's no requirement to do that. But that's like if you want some movement or something different in the legs, it's an option. You can also do both knees in towards you and both legs up simultaneously. Does doing it with my arms help you? Both knees up. Yeah? So last chance to play for this afternoon. Please lie down if you'd like, or legs up the wall if you'd like, any variation that we've chosen, and then we'll find a few breaths to rest. So if you want to come into that version of headstand again, forearms down, crown of your head between your hands, tuck your toes under, lift your knees and hips up. Are you breathing in there? Breathe in there. And then only if you so desire, you got to reach your tush towards the wall, push your forearms down, and then maybe both legs lift simultaneously. Think butt forward of your torso. Do you know what I mean? Walk your feet in. Yeah. Yes, it can. Or you can come further away so that it doesn't. But the idea is you want your butt to go forward of you so that the legs can get lighter. Yes. Breathe in there, Eric. You got it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Rest as needed. Support yourself as needed. Take breaks as and where you need. Nice, Kathy. That's it. Yes. And then when you've been there for a few breaths, when you've taken a few moments to rest, can we find our way back to our original spots? There's no rush. Stay there for as long as you'd like. But whenever you're ready, come on back and we'll do a few hip openers and twists for counter poses. Sirsasana. There is also the one, some of you might have done it too, the tripod headstand one. People have very strong feelings about which one they like more. You like that better? Okay. More stable. Really? Ah. The forearms one? No. Tripod. Tumble. Yeah. Interesting. It does. Interesting. Yeah. Preference. Okay, by popular demand, we're all going to sit, which is where we all are. So let's do a few hip openers here. With your butt on the ground, bring your legs out in front of you. Left foot down and cross your right ankle over your left thigh, like figure 4 we did when we were standing. Flex that right foot as much as you can. And now push into the floor to lift your chest. Lift your heart up towards that right shin. Take a breath or two here, in through the nose. And exhale all of that breath out. Now I invite you to stay exactly as you are, taking a few deep breaths. Or if you want anything different, you might scooch your hips towards that left tush to shorten the space. Or for fire log pose, Agni Stambhasana, that bottom left foot might start to heel toe to the right. And then you lower your left knee and shin down onto the ground, like 2 logs of wood stacked on top of each other. But wherever you are, both butt cheeks on the ground, or in figure 4, push down into the earth to lift your chest. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. If you're in fire log, you might fold forward over your legs or stay upright. It's up to you. But flex through both feet as you lift the heart. Take a deep breath in, down, and wide. Stay for the exhale. Let the crown of your head grow longer, either to the sky or towards the front of the room. And now on your next breath, if you folded forward, come on back upright. Lean back to uncross your legs, feet nice and wide, and take a few windshield wipers, dropping your knees from side to side to take notice. And now side 2, feet on the ground. Start in figure 4. Let's all begin here. Left ankle over the right thigh. Flex the left foot. Lift up through the heart. Take a big breath in. Exhale all of that breath out. hips are very different, so feel free to stay exactly where you are. Next step might be moving your hips towards that right heel and walking your hands forward. Take a breath here. And if you'd want to try it on the second side for double pigeon, heel toe the right bottom foot to the left as you lower your right knee and shin down onto the ground. Anchor both butt cheeks to the floor. Lift up through the heart. Stay right here, or you might start to hinge again over and across that front shin. Take a full breath in, down, and wide. Every exhale, offer all of that breath out. Take one more breath as you are. Big inhale in, and a long, clear exhale out. Now if you've folded forward on your inhale, come all the way back up. Uncross your legs, give them a windshield wiper, dropping them from side to side, just feeling what one hip feels like when it's turned in versus out. And now knees come back through center. Let's turn around. Lie onto your back with your head up towards me, your feet to the wall behind you. Have one of your blocks close by. And then there's an option. I'll give you some therapy ball work. If you'd like to do some rolling at the end, I'll talk you through it. So have a block and your therapy balls close as you come to lie on your back. Bend your knees, bring both feet onto the floor. For a few breaths in supported bridge pose, shrug your shoulders to your ears, wiggle your shoulder blades together. Push down through your feet to lift your hips up. And now slide that block to its lowest or second lowest height underneath your tush. Once your hips are on a block, wiggle your shoulder blades together. Press the head gently down into the earth to lift your chin. And as your hands rest on your body or alongside of you or even overhead, take 4 deep breaths here from the nose into your belly. And as you exhale, offer all of that breath out. That breath feeds the heart first. The heart awakens and softens the mind. And the mind illuminates the full agency of your body. And as you let each breath find its way from outside in, let your exhales pour themselves out from the inside out. Now, after your next few breaths with your feet on the ground, lift your hips to slide that block out from underneath your hips. Lower your tush down onto the earth. With your feet as wide as your mat, reach your arms overhead like a big V, just watching for neighbors and props. And now drop both knees to the right hand side and stay here for a breath or two. As knees drop to the right, can you stretch through the left fingertips to the back corner of the room on a diagonal? And then feel the left knee reach to the door you came in, getting longer on that axis. Let the back of your head be heavy on the ground as you take a big breath in and exhale to soften into yourself. Now draw the knees and feet back through center. Feet very wide, hands like a big V, and now drop your knees to the left, side 2. As if someone's holding your right hand and giving it a pull towards the back corner of the room, towards me. And as you reach the right thigh and the right knee to the back of the room, feel the line of energy on the right diagonal. Take a bigger breath in and a longer breath out. And now on your next inhale, draw the knees back through center. Give yourself a squeeze. We've done some asymmetrical things on the right and left. You can hug your legs in towards your belly or come into happy baby, letting the hands catch the backs of your thighs or your calves or the pinky edges of your feet. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, release the hold of your legs to the earth. I'll talk us through a small amount of therapy ball work in the back of your head. But if there's any region that you know, that you prefer, that you're craving, You're more than welcome to take a few moments to work at your pace, or feel free to set up early for rest. We'll meet you there very soon. But for the therapy balls in the back of your head, you can keep them in their tote or take them out, but bring them to the very base of your skull, bottom of your head, top of your neck. And if anyone needs some that doesn't have any, feel free to raise a hand and I can bring some over to you. But once the therapy balls are in the back of your head, let the legs stretch out long if you'd like. Begin to slowly nod your head yes, and then gently nod your head no from one side to the other. Perhaps even letting the mouth open and close to let the jaw and tongue be heavy. And then after a few breaths at the base of your skull, come up slightly higher, more to the middle of the skull, a few inches above from where you were. You can once again nod your head yes, and slowly nod your head no. When you nod your head no to the right, you might make some small circles when you get there. When you nod your head no to the left, perhaps you make some small circles when you're there. But when the time comes, slowly release the therapy balls off to the side and let the weight of your head soften to the earth. The next place we'll meet is we'll all make our way towards rest. So give yourself a moment or two to add or remove any layers or props. You might let your hair down or let your glasses set off safely to the side. But if there's anything you can do for yourself to become even 2% more comfortable than you are, please feel free to take it. But with your eyes soft and that attention turned towards the darkness, and you listen for the quiet of your breath, where each breath dissolves the practice that was. Each breath lets you arrive to where you are now. And each breath that comes after makes space for what has yet to come. As we've traversed the whole course of chakras, from that molten red at the base of your spine, the water like orange around the hips, the warm fiery yellow in the depths of your belly, the lustrous emerald green in the heart and chest, the vibrant blue of the throat, and the violet in between the eyebrows, coating the eyelids. We arrive to the 1,000-petaled lotus at the very top of your head, where when one petal unfurls, there's another 1,000 waiting to reveal themselves to you. The way you yourself access your own divine energy, and the way the divine pours itself into you. Can you let each one of your breaths, let your body become heavier into the earth? And the heavier you let yourself become, the lighter and more spacious you may just begin to feel. begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a deeper breath out. Take another breath in, down, and wide. And as you exhale, offer all of that breath out. Let the breath that you have begin to awaken the body that you're in with any gentle movement that feels sweet to you. You might roll your wrists or ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you tip your head from side to side, heavy against the earth. Or just being mindful of those around you and any props. Perhaps you reach your arms away from your legs or draw your knees in towards your heart. When the time comes, you can reach one or both arms overhead, bend your knees as you roll to any side of your choice to coil into yourself. A breath or two here against the ground, and when the time comes, push down into the earth to rise to a tall seat the same way we began. With those eyes soft, take a breath in and down so it fills you up. And exhale to offer the breath up and out in each direction. Sahasrara chakra, the 1,000-fold lotus, at the very top of your head. The color of white, the element of thought, reminding us that for each petal that unfurls, there's another 1,000 waiting to reveal themselves to you. As we finish our time together with one more of those breaths, you can gather your hands to anywhere that feels like center for you. Take a deep breath in to offer all of it out. You might bow your head to your hands or lift your hands towards your head in such a simple yet sweet gesture of self-reverence, bowing to your heart and the hearts of one another who practiced right alongside with you. And I bow to each and every one of you all. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. And it's done. Until next year. Drink water, stay cool this week, take really good care of yourselves and each other. There's some sprays and wipes and things here if you want to wipe anything off. And while you're setting up, a couple announcements. This Friday, my dad's only in town. He lives in India for 6 months and lives with me for 6 months. And he is off on his next adventure in July. But we're coming together to do our yoga and tabla class. So he'll play the live Indian drums that he's been playing for 50 years. And he plays the whole class. He does a little sweet thing and then plays you during Shavasana. So that's this Friday. Then on Saturday, I'm teaching my one out of only 3 outdoor yoga classes that I ever teach because I love air conditioning so much. It's free. It's at Ray Street Pier. It's on Sunday at 10. And then Adriana and I are leading a workshop next Friday, but I'll tell you about that next week, and it's on the internet. Fridays at 6:30. 6:30? 6:30 to 8. Yeah. Yes, please.
I'm organizing a fundraiser for Planned Parenthood Southeast PA on Saturday after you go to the outdoor yoga class. You can go to an indoor spin class at 17th and South, followed by a party at Jet Wine Garden.
Ooh.
The spin class is optional, and you can also sponsor a rider, but the party is, well, it's also optional, but you don't have to do a spin class to come to the party. The spin class is at 12, the party's at Jet from 1 to 4, and tickets are available on Eventbrite, or you can ask me for my Instagram.
Social. Her socials are incredible, so follow regardless, but thank you.
This Saturday, 100% of the proceeds go to Planned Parenthood, Southeast PA, and about 15 chefs are making food for the party.
Ooh, thank you. What else? Anyone else have things? We got more vintage in the house.
Yeah, we have a vintage store on 4th Street. I think this weekend there's going to be a block party on 4th Street.
Are you doing your pop-up on Wednesday?
Wednesday Fair.
Yes.
So there will be deals in store pretty much from Wednesday through Sunday in celebration of the liberation of Black people everywhere.
Yes. Adriana's also leading a workshop that day. So many things. What do you have? Okay. I got nothing. Anyone else? Things going on in your lives and worlds? Bye. I got nothing. I'm going to the beach. I need to be at the beach. Did you? Ugh.